neat and ready to go. Hey legacy builders, welcome back to Mind Your Money. In today's video, I'm taking a look at my June budget and I'm going to close out the very first paycheck budget for the month. So that will be for Friday, June 7th. We actually got paid 2 days early. So I'm closing it out with all of the income that we've received. I'll talk about that. We only had, well, we had 2 bills that were due. Geico, which did clear our credit card, so we're going to pay that back today. PSEG, I did not clear our credit card. It's still pending, but I did pay it, so I have to set money aside for that. And that's it. There are no other extras for this week. I don't have anything else that's happening that I feel like I need to pull money out for or set money aside for in the first week. So that's that. Goals for the month, I want to look at it while I'm doing this because it just helps me to remember what needs to be done and that I focus on that when I close out this budget and set up the second budget or paycheck budget for the month. So I'm trying to get 2 months ahead of our car note. So yeah, I have to work on that. Use scratch off challenges for back to school clothes and items, summer fun. I'm going to be doing that. Definitely reducing credit card debt. I'm working on that too. So I like looking at what I already talked about. What's my vision for the month? Are we going to do that with this paycheck? I hope so. So I hope you are here with me to either follow along or do your budget with me or just watching and see how we plan to manage the money this week. So for debt, I have allocated, I believe, $60 in paycheck number 1. So yeah, $60 was allocated. So what I'm going to do, whatever that can cover, I'm going to put at least $60 towards it. So the $12.99 minus the $43.04. Yeah, I can take care of these. So I'm just going to put like this little dot so I know this is for paycheck number 1. At least those 2 will be taken care of. So that's that. Okay, so let me move on to the budget by paycheck sheet in my annual budget workbook. Oh, you know what? I'm moving a little too fast. I don't know why I'm moving so fast. Like I have to actually do my budget. And I feel like if I don't move fast enough, people will get bored and go away. But I have to do my budget. So this is a fresh, brand new expense tracker that I'm using for the month. I think I'm going to write, do I want to use my erasable pen or this pen? I don't know. I like this pen because it says, make the world quiet. I like that. I don't know why. It just sounds very comforting. Okay, let me look at my account. June for me started on June 2nd. Okay. I like to start on the first Sunday and then end on the last Saturday. So my budget period is from June 2nd to June 29th. And I'm going to go back to my account and see what the balance was at that time. It was $69.38. So the balance was $69.38. And then let me see what happened. We had $25 from Fidelity come out on the 3rd. And that brought our balance to $44.38. Let me just make sure. Yeah, $44.38. The next transaction was, okay, there were several transactions. I did something a little different this month. And for this week, I transferred all of the interest we earned from all of the other savings accounts and categories in Capital One to my operating account because I'm going to use that within our income. So I'm just going to add it up. 0 to 2 cents, 21 cents, 67 cents, $2.86, $2.11, and $1.12. Scoot this over just a little bit. And after 112 was 18 cents. And that was it, right? That was everything as far as interest is concerned. So that's $7.17 worth of interest I transferred from some of those accounts. So I'm just going to group them together. This will be considered income, even though it was interest from other accounts. And I'll just put capital 1. Planes are flying still, even though it's late in the morning when I'm filming. So sorry if that annoys you. $44.38 was where we were. So that brought us to $51.55 in this account. Then income for this week hit on the 3rd from our TD Bank account. We transfer a set amount of money each week, and that is considered a deposit and income because it's a portion of what my husband brought in. So that deposit was $1,100. And when we add that to what we already had in the account, we come up to $1,151.55. After that, I transferred money from our savings, so from our vehicle insurance fund with Ally Bank. And that is a transfer because it's an inflow. I think that's what it's called. But since it's coming in, I'm still going to label it or categorize it as income. And it was $785. I think I took more than what I needed. I inverted the numbers because this is for the Geico insurance that I have to pay. So I end up sending some of that money back, probably. $1,936.55 is the balance now after that transfer. And then what else hit on the 4th? Robinhood took out their $25. This is an automatic transfer for investments every single week. And that's going to be, let's see. Oh, that's not adding. See, it's a good thing I didn't use the regular pen and I'm using the erasable because I messed up and I don't have correction tape. So minus 25 brings us to $19.11.55. Then I made a cash withdrawal. So at one of my local branches, Capital One Bank, and that was a withdrawal. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm sorry if you know I sound so nasally and everything. Cash minus 125, and that brings us to starting account balance of $17.86.55. All right, so now I know where I'm starting from, and I can go on to my budget by paycheck now and just close it out. So for paycheck number 1, this is the starting balance in our account. We planned for $1,100. All right, zero base budget, so the expenses will equal the same. 10% of what we use is going to be given. Some of what you see, when you see the actual numbers, I'm only going to tithe off of what is new and coming in, not what I pulled from savings, okay, or the interest. So Ephesians 1:3, blessed be the God of our Father, Lord Jesus Christ, who has blessed us with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places in Christ. That is my top priority. That's what I'm focusing on while I close this out. So our giving was planned at 110. Oh, I'm moving too fast. The actual, God help me, I'm moving so fast. We had $7.17 in interest that I'm going to be using, plus the $1,100, plus $785 from savings. So our total income, $1,892.17, which means all of our expenses will equal $1,892.17. The 10% is going to be off of the $1,100, right? So it's still going to be $110 because I can't tithe off of, let's say income A was from savings. We've already tithed off of this money before we put it into the savings. Income B is the full-time income, a portion of that. we tithe off of what we don't show you, and then we're going to tithe off of this amount. And then C is interest earned, so $7.17. I pulled from some of those accounts. So that's what that is. Our actual tithe is $110. That's not changing. That's the only giving we're doing this week. Okay. Investments we know are coming out automatically, so we're just leaving aside $25 to take care of those, and that's $50. And then cash expenses, I did pull out $125. So I think I'm going to allocate it the same way because I have some challenges to make sure get done. So that's $125. Bills and expenses. Our electricity bill, I paid it, and I can't remember how much I don't know if I wrote it here. I didn't. But I paid my electricity bill. I'm going to check my Capital One Quicksilver statement really quick. I think it was $89. So we were going to be over budget. It is, no, actually it's not. $85.16. I don't know why I thought it was more. So $85.16. This is paid by my credit card and it's pending right now, so I'm going to leave this behind in my operating account until this charge posts to my credit card, and then I'll pay the $85.16. So I'm going to put a little asterisk here so I know that there's something special about this. This money can't be touched. Geico did clear the credit card, and it posted for an exact amount of $758.70. So I took out more than what I needed to. So $758.70, we are going to pay that back today. Towards debt, it's going to be $60 minimum. I'm trying to save more in our next month's bills to get ahead of the new expenses. Transportation too, I need to put as much money as I can there. And then I have some of this income, which is from savings, that I'm going to put back into vehicle insurance. So we can start saving for July's payment right now. So for a fourth of the rent, that's $375. That doesn't change. And I think that's everything for bills for this week. Fourth of the rent, PSEG, and our debt payment. And so this is now $85.16 plus $758.70 plus $60 plus $375. That's $1,278 with 86 cents. Just make that look a little better. All right. Thanks for being patient with me if you're still here. Thank you so much. Okay. I said $37.50 would go towards household. I'm going to keep that just as it is. I'm not going to change it. I want to put any extra we have left over towards next month's bills. Our food needs to get $100. So let's write that in at 100. And then miscellaneous is to get $6.50. Let me go back to see what I put for miscellaneous for the month. Okay, $20. So maybe I can put $20 in there. So now I just want to add up to see where we are so far. We started with $1,892.17 minus $110 for giving, minus $50 to investing, the $125 in cash, $1,278.86 for bills. That left us with $328. So if I subtract the $37.50 going to household, $100 going to our food fund, I can put, let's say if I put the whole 20 towards miscellaneous now, minus $50 to transportation. Okay. $120.81 to next month's bills. I might keep it like that. I'll do that. $120 instead of $100. So yeah, I think I like this better. So instead, I'm going to scratch what I said earlier. I was going to put the difference between what we had paid for Geico and the cash I pulled out from that vehicle insurance fund, and I was going to send it back, but I'm going to put it here. What's the difference, by the way? 120.81. Let me write that down really quick. I don't know what just happened. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I hope I filmed all of what I just recorded. My phone just cut off, and oh my gosh. Okay. 157.50 going towards savings, 170.81 going towards purpose funds, and that is it. Nothing other or extra. And our zero-based budget is done. So we used $1,892.17 and we gave all of these dollars and change an assignment. So we have a zero-based budget. Boom. Now, percentages. We're going to, our giving percentage is going to be off this week. Normally 10% is what we would give. But remember, some of this income was from savings. So we're going to take the 110 and divide it into the 1892. That's 5.8%. That went towards giving. Savings is the 157.50 plus the 170.81. That was $328.31 for savings. Divide that into 1892.17, and we get 17%. 17.3. Investing, $50 divided into 1892.17 multiplied by 100. 2.6% this week. Okay, those are my percentages, and they're not reaching our goals. Our goal is to give 10%, then also save at least 5% and invest at least 5%. But I know why this paycheck is different, because we use some of our savings to take care of some things. So now I can do all my money moves and make some payments. So let's start with our giving as usual, and just do the transfers first. It's a little easier, so I can see what's left in the account before I move on to making another paycheck budget. So from the operating account to our tithe and give account, I'm going to send only $110 right now, and I will show you on the screen that it was done. Success. $110 went to our tithe and give account, and then we're going to go ahead and we're skipping this because this is automatic, so there's no need to do anything there. This 125 has already come out. I don't know why I'm drawing hearts, just it's how I feel. I'm bundle of love today. $85.16 is going to stay behind. I can't pay this yet. I won't pay it until the electric bill post. That's how I like to do it. Make sure the exact amount comes out before I pay it back. $758.70 is what we're going to pay towards the credit card today. So I'm going to skip my transfers and go straight to my Quicksilver credit card. I'm clicking on make a payment, and $758.70. I'm going to be making 2 payments today because I like to separate it. It's just I like to see it separate. That's just me. Okay, so thanks for your payment. Your payment will be on time and covers the minimum due, and that updates my available credit immediately. So that's done. Next is my debt payment. We're going to pay $60. So that's also going to come from the operating account, since that's where the paycheck money is. And this is a little more than, well, it's a light amount, but I'm still glad we're making a debt payment of $60 today. An extra debt payment. So $60. Thanks for your payment. Your payment is on time and covers the minimum due. So before I move on to the next transfers, I need to go back and highlight what charges that covers for this week. Okay, I'm just going to use this highlighter here. So that covers this $12.99 that I made in December of 2023, and this $43.04 from December. It's a little bit extra. So that's done. And that feels good to me to knock some of this out. A fourth of the rent is going to be transferred, and that is $375. And this is for July because we've already paid June's rent. So we're ahead of the game on that one. If I could just get ahead of my other bills, I would be so grateful. God, please send us extra income, give us extra resources so we can glorify your name and get ahead of our bills and be better stewards of our money. So this is for July's rent. And that's that. Success. $375 went towards next month's rent. So we put that in our miscellaneous savings account until we're ready to transfer it on July 1st and pay the bill. Pay the rent. All right. So that's everything for this bucket except for PSEG, which we're going to pay. You know what? Let me go to my calendar just in case. Now, PSEG, I paid it on Tuesday the 4th. And today's Wednesday the 5th when I'm closing out everything because for whatever reason, we're getting our income, our transfers, our deposits much earlier, much faster. But what I'm going to do is I already paid it, but I need to make credit card payment today. I'll put today. There. So I go and do that. When I look at my calendar, I'll remember. Okay, so I had to do that really quick. Savings, $37.50 is going towards household. So household expenses are increasing, and I know it's going to be increasing even more because by the end of this month, all of the kids will be home from school for the summer, and how much are we going to need to pay for like bath tissue and paper towels and all the stuff, like soap, everything. We're gonna have to do a big Costco run at some point. So Lord help me. $37.50 is going to our household account and success. $37.50 has been transferred. Then $100 is going to our food account or to our food category. So let me do that. I think this is a good amount to start with. I'm glad we can put 100 and not like 50 and 60 like we were doing in the month of May. So food, transfer, and success. $100 sent to our food account, and $20 is going into miscellaneous for those random things that sometimes pop up. So what I do, because I'm transferring both the rent we have that we're saving up for and again this miscellaneous category into the same account, but I'm writing a memo so I know what's for the rent and what's miscellaneous. So when I look at the account, I know I can go back and say, okay, this amount here, success, that was transferred. This amount here is just for random things that we didn't plan for, and then we have a little extra cushion in there just in case, you know. It just gives me comfort. It brings me comfort to have a category or an account that says, okay, we got like $40, $50 in there and we need to use it for something. Like I have to buy a yellow t-shirt for one of my sons because they're having a field day event, and I don't know how much the yellow shirt is going to cost. I know I might have to go to a couple stores before I find like a plain yellow shirt, but I need to do it. So miscellaneous, that's where it will come from. Because it wasn't something I planned for. Okay. Transportation is going to get that $50. Oh, it needs so much more. But I'm trusting God to give us more so we can add more to it, because we need a lot in transportation. But I'm going to send what I can and trust God for the rest. Success. $50 has been transferred to transportation. Shout out to my friend Tara who brought me on to that success. I love saying it. It's like, yes, I'm winning with my money. I'm putting my money in a place where it can work for me a little harder. So next month's bills is getting $120.81. And let me add a memo. And while I'm doing this, let me tell you, I opened up a CD because I got an offer from our brick and mortar bank for 5% APY. success. This has been transferred. 5% APY for opening up a CD, a 6-month CD. So I was like, all right, let me send 250 and let's start with that. And then I'm hoping to build a CD ladder. I didn't talk about that for my goals for the month, but I'm just sharing it now because I just said a minute ago, we want to make our money work a little harder for us. So if I can get a 5% interest, why not? Because we're trying to get out of debt. We're working on it. We're doing our best. But we also want to make sure our money makes money for us while we just sleep and do whatever we have to do. So I figured a CD is a great way to do that. And so that's where we are. So what I'm seeing right now is $9.73 and 24 cents in my operating account. Let me go ahead and update my expense tracker to see if that's what I see. $9.73.24. And then I'll see if we have more than enough to take. $9.73 though. Oh, I know why. Because I made those credit card payments, but they didn't post yet. I was confused for a second there. So if I got loud, I'm sorry. So we had $1786.55. That was our starting account balance before we started making our closeout. So I'm going to just put this effective June 6th, 7th, even though I'm filming this on the 5th because we got paid. And to be honest, the reason why I'm doing this early, not that some people probably don't care, but the reason why I'm doing this early on a Wednesday instead of Friday, one, because I'm glad we got paid early, and I can close it out and get the debt down and all of that. But two, because my children are going to be out of school Thursday and Friday, and there's no way I'm going to be able to film with them home all day, and we have things to do. So I'm just doing it now. So the first move that I made today after the cash withdrawal is to send $110 to our tithe and give account. So let me write that in. That was a transfer to the tithe checking account of $110. So subtract that from here. That brings us to $16.76 and 55 cents. Boom, that's done. Then I sent $3.75 to our miscellaneous account, and that is our first installment towards July's rent. So that again was a transfer for July's rent, and that was $3.75. So subtract that from the balance, and now we have $1301.55. Next move was the $37.50 to our household account. This actually cleared like as of today, so we'll transfer to household. What did I say? $37.50. Okay. Why did I choose $37.50? I don't know. But there we go. $12.64 and 5 cents is what the balance was. And that matches. Okay. So the food fund is next, and that got $100. So FOOD, $100 minus 100 from the balance brings us to $11.64 and 5 cents. I hope all of that is clear and you can see it. Next is miscellaneous, which is the actual miscellaneous money that we put aside for the month. Again, that's a transfer, and that went straight to miscellaneous, and $20. Let's make that 2 look like a 2. Man. Okay, minus $20. I used to not like erasable pens, and now I'm just like all over it. I love it. So transportation, it doesn't write as well as I like. I like it. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. But it's working for me for now. $50 went to transportation. And that was again another transfer. I'll write the category here. And then 100, no, maybe 100 is what I would have liked to send. So $50 minus 50 brings us to $10.94 and 5 cents. And then the last transfer was to next month's bills. I think this one might be $1,000 before we close out or by the time we close out the second paycheck. Let's see. Let me see. Next month's bills, 120.81. There's another plane. I wonder where they're going. Can you take me with you? I don't know if I did that right just now. 10.94 5 cents minus 120.81. Okay, 9.73 and 24 cents. Boom. That's exactly what I see here as the balance. So let's hold on to that 9.73 and go back to the budget by paycheck. And let's see. Why am I going back? Okay, I know. I'm moving too fast. Slow down. 85.16 has to come out of that. So let's subtract that from here. Then 758.70 has to come out. Then $60 has to come out. And that's it, right? Oh no. And then $50 for investing has to come out. Okay. So this is what I think we ended up with last week. $19.38. That's the actual amount that's left over. I'm glad we have something. I'm glad it's not $0 or $1. Thankful. It's $19.38 is what we'll have after this comes out and these payments come out, and then until the next budget. So before I set up the second paycheck budget, let me go. Oh, did I highlight the debt already? I did. Those two payments, we consider those as good as paid back. So PSEG did come out. Well, we've already allocated to pay it back for $85.16. So that's the actual. Geico was $758.70. Okay, and I didn't put anything towards the car loan just yet, and we're still working on our investings. Our miscellaneous was $20. I'm going to count that as good as done for the month. I don't think I'll be putting any extra money in there, but I have an erasable pen just in case. So that's it for updating my monthly budget. And now I'm going to set up paycheck number 2. Paycheck number 2 is for the 14th. We have Spectrum due that week. And I think I put that on my pre-plan. We have life insurance number 1 due. That is also on my pre-plan. And then I have my Safe Horizon charity. It comes after the payday, so I think I'm going to pay that back to the credit card in paycheck number 3. So for paycheck 2, I'm gonna allocate money for this bill and that bill, and see if we can make sure we're still getting ahead of other things. I think getting ahead of the car note, I could just pull it from next month's bills. Because I don't know if I set that up in my pre-plan for any paycheck for the month. But we'll see. We'll see. Because even though we set a budget, sometimes things have to change. Let me check what's in my transportation fund really quickly, because I'm looking at my top 3 goals. Transportation has $55 right now with what we just transferred into it. So that means we still need $145. 200 minus 55. Yeah, $145 more. It's only the first pay of the month, so we still have time. So we're going to look at June 14th. This is paycheck number 2 for the month. The plan is $1,100. So that means our expenses are going to be planned for $1,100, and we're going to give a tithe of 10%. My top priority for this paycheck is going to be Ephesians 4:7. I've been in Ephesians, and I need to stay in Ephesians this month. I need to read the whole chapter, the whole book. It's a really good and interesting book. But to each one of us, grace was given according to the measure of Christ's gift. All right. First up is our giving. $110. You probably already guessed it if you're still here. 110. Investing is the same. It hasn't changed. I'm feeling like cursive again, so let me just continue with it since it feels good to me. 25. So that's $50. Cash expenses is staying the same. We need our laundry to get at least 25. We need money for the scratch offs. I'm putting everything I've saved so far and then some towards back to school, summer clothes, and summer fun. And then my 10K 100 envelope challenge is expected to get $75. That's $125 that I'm going to pull out in cash. Bills and expenses. We have Spectrum. I remember that was on the calendar. And we plan 87, I think. Yeah, $87 for Spectrum. Life insurance number 1. And that's always budgeted for $33. Then we have debt, of course. And then we have our rent. So this week's debt payment is budgeted for $70. Hey, it's more than last week, so let's shoot for that. A fourth of the rent is going aside for $375, and then when I add that up, 87 plus 33 plus 70 plus 375 is 565. And then we move on to our savings. So putting money into household, I don't think I planned for anything this second paycheck. So we're just gonna keep it there in case extra comes in. Miscellaneous is again a placeholder. I mean, I don't think I'll be putting any more money in there based on what I budgeted for the month, but anything could change. How did I... Okay. Food. That's important because we need to eat. $100 is the plan towards food. And that's it for this. That's $100. Then our purpose funds. Again, because these are revolving and you're constantly putting money in it, even though we're constantly putting money here, this is like, I don't know, I just feel like separating it because there's certain things we really need to do, and this is a high priority right now. Transportation is going to get $50. Next month's bills is planned at $100 this week, so that is going to be $150 altogether. Right now, since we haven't even gotten into week 2 yet, we do have $887 in there. And so 887 plus 100 is 987. So we're really close to the first 1,000. Oh, I'll be so grateful if we can hit that goal this month and get it 1,500, 1,600 in there. Before we even have to use it. That would be great. I don't think there's anything else that I'm missing. I think that's everything. So this should be 1,100 all together. So let's start with the 1,100 and subtract what we've budgeted. We budgeted for 110 to giving, 50 to investing, 125 in cash, 565 towards bills, and 100 towards our savings, which is for food fund, $50 towards transportation, and then $100 to next month's bills. Okay, I do have the right to reallocate things. I'm kind of thinking, because I already planned this out ahead of time, this is what I would say. Okay, that's what we projected for the second paycheck of the month already. And we have to keep pushing towards getting the debt down. I did not forget that I have to put money towards vehicle insurance because we have to save for July's car insurance payment. And so With just $100 in there, we still need another $600 to make sure it works. So anything I can put towards it, anything extra that comes in, we'll put it towards that. And we still have there's 3 more paychecks this month. The second one, the third one, and the fourth one, we'll see. I am expecting to get a AdSense payout this month. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed to this Mind Your Money channel. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for just being here. Just your presence, commenting, liking, even when you share it and you don't comment. I'm just so grateful. It's because of you. It's because of you viewing the videos. It's because of your interaction with the videos and the advertisements that I'm getting a significant payout in the month of June. So thank you. I won't be able to see it by the second paycheck, but hopefully by the third, if not the third, the fourth, and somewhere between third and fourth paycheck, I'll be able to use it. But I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful to God for continuing to increase us. So that's it. Ephesians 4:7. But to each one of us, grace was given according to the measure of Christ's gift. He gave an immense gift, and I just hope and pray that you are having a successful June so far. I know we just started, but let's start off with going towards that debt repayment, getting it down. Don't let anything stop you. Whatever you're doing for side income to bring it in, extra income, I don't care what it is, as long as it's morally good, please fight for your goals. Fight for your family's financial freedom. And I think that's everything. Continue to mind your money, you guys. Manage it well and live your lives abundantly. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye for now.